Well, a bit of tragedy just before I left the marina here. I decided to fly the drone out and film the entrance. I was going to put it together as a getting into Keppel Bay Marina video, and the drone didn't come home. Bugger. I went over and had a look, but I think it was over the water when it lost signal, and I think it's just landed in the water. Anyhow, no more drone footage for a while. I'll save up for another one. That's number 3, I think. Okay, I've just bought a new drone to replace the Mini 2 that I lost while I was at Yeppoon. And the plan is I'm going to use this drone while I'm flying over the water. It's a bit cheaper than the other drone I bought, which is a high-end model, and gives you a bit better pics, but not that much better. And I've just received this brand new drone, and what I'm going to do is crash it. Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat, and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't. I've come up with an idea that I think might help me get the drone back on the boat. These little drones are very hard to catch if you're flying them, because you have to catch them with your hands sort of upside down, and as soon as you grab the drone it wants to lift off out of your hand, and it's a real problem getting it back onto the boat sometimes. So not as good as the old drone I had with the legs on it that you could grab really easily. This is especially hard when the boat's moving and you need 3 hands. You can see how hard that is to grab, and if you don't grab it properly it's out of your hands, and it can cause a fair bit of damage. So let's go and try our new system. I'm simply using a cast net that I have on board for catching bait. Of course the test crashes are conducted over the land. I really like it. So I've done that 4 times now, and definitely no damage to the drone. So I think that's going to be a real winner. Isn't it great when sometimes your ideas work? Next we set the net up on the back of the boat. It's a pretty windy afternoon as well, so it'll be a good test. Now for the real test. I'm navigating into a pretty confined anchorage. I've set the net up and I'm flying the drone and taking some pretty good vision of the boat coming into the anchorage. Now it's time to get the drone back. Okay, so now I have 2 drones, the Mini 2 and the Mini 3. Now you can see that the Mini 3 is just a little bit larger than the Mini 2. It's pretty well a similar configuration, but the thing is, if you're going to use this method, only use it with the Mini 2. This is why. The main reason you should only use it with the Mini 2 drone is that the Mini 3, if you look closely, the props are a little bit bigger on the Mini 3 and they've got a little rubber tip on the end of, right on the end of the prop. Now that's stuck on somehow, but that rubber tip, I think if you flew it into the net, it might rip that rubber tip off. So you might end up having to put a new set of blades on this drone every time you landed it. On the other hand, with the Mini 2, the props have an orange part to them, but that's just paint. So you can fly these little props into that net and you don't do any damage whatsoever. And no damage to the drone at all. So I think it's a pretty good system. So look, I think that's a pretty good system, and I can now fly this drone when I'm on the boat and be pretty confident of landing it without dropping it over the side. So it's made flying the drone from the boat, especially when it's moving, a lot simpler and a lot less sweaty hands. So yeah, I think it works real well. Give it a try anyway. All you need is a cast net, a very fine net. You fly it into that net and it just catches the drone for you. Fantastic. Have a good day, dudes. Have a look at some of my other vids. There'll be more drone footage in them from now on. Cheers.